Hello, Booklings. I've decided on that name for you all now. How are we doing? Welcome to the first ever live episode of Booked. I'm going to be making a lot of mistakes and tripping over my words because I'm so unbelievably excited. I feel like a kid at Christmas. I feel like I've had loads of sherbet and I'm like vibrating inside, outside. So apologies if I sound like a tit at any point. I'd love to introduce my amazing first guest of season 2, Ellen Holmes. How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing pretty well, actually. I'm on Booked.
You are, finally.
Which is like the best thing ever, so.
I'm a bit biased, but yeah, I agree. It's pretty good, to be honest. It's such a pleasure to have you on. We've got lots and lots and lots to talk about. Hello to everyone that is saying hi in the chat. I'm going to try and keep an eye on it, but I also want to focus on my amazing guest. So if you do have any questions, then please do pop them in the chat and I will keep an eye out for those. Let's crack on. So there's loads and loads and loads for us to discuss, and this could go on for an hour and a half. It could go on longer, who knows? So stay with us because there's lots to discuss. So first off, I figured it would be good to talk about the Small Spec Book Awards, if that's okay with you.
Yeah.
Amazing.
So first of all, Saffron, can I just say thank you for having me on and for, partnering with us when it comes to the Small Spec Book Awards, for being willing to talk about my books. Cool. I mean, I'm just so grateful. I'm a huge fan of Booked, and I've watched every single episode, and also of Strangers in Fiction as well, every single episode of that. So thank you so much for having me on. Yeah. The Small Spec Book Awards is basically it was born out of the idea. I found Mark Lawrence's self-published fantasy blog off, right? And I was like, that would be so cool if there was like a small press version of that. And I started to look around and I was like, okay, let's see what awards are available for small press books and authors. And I started looking around, and all of them that I found at least charged fees, some of them exorbitant. And I was like, that's interesting. And sometimes there was, prize money. Sometimes it was like, oh, well, you get the award. But I was like, well, what if we did something like Mark Lawrence's self-published fantasy blog off for spec-fic for small presses and indie presses? What if we did that? And so I pitched the idea to my co-founder, Millie, which, by the way, she has a book coming out soon, A Legacy of Blood and Bones. So go check that out.
Put that in the chat.
Yeah, there's pre-orders, I think, that are available now. So
amazing.
Yeah. So we kind of discussed everything, and Millie was super helpful when it came to like what made sense and what didn't make sense. She's super connected to the small press community because she runs Small Pitch, which is this awesome event for people who want to find a small press to publish with, or an indie press. So definitely check that out too if you are interested in that type of thing. But yeah, she really helped me kind of hone my ideas and think through everything and be logical about certain things. And then she helped bring in her connections, and she's helped me run, our social media channel. She does all the graphics that we have. So she's been incredibly helpful. And then we just kind of like went with this idea. We started advertising it. And I was so excited the day that you were like, I'm coming on board. I'm going to do something about this. And I was like, yes. It just felt so good to hear you say that. And then, yeah, like all of our influencers have been amazing. Just, telling everybody about our small press authors, our indie authors that are entered into the competition. And yeah, I know you're going to interview the winners of
Yes.
the competition, which
Mhm.
is great. Um, yeah, so that we will announce the winners because we're in the second round right now.
Yes.
There's two
Mhm.
rounds, and we'll announce the winners December 1st.
Okay.
So yeah, and if anybody wants to join us and help, there's multiple ways you can do that. You can be a volunteer reader. You could, if you have, you know, um, a channel or a podcast or something, and you want to like interview our writers, or you want to review the winning books or whatever. I mean, there's all kinds of ideas that have been pitched to us, and we pretty much run with all of them. So,
Yeah.
and these small presses and these indie presses who are doing incredible work and putting out these beautiful books,
Mhm.
um, they are like super excited about these opportunities
That's
that
nice.
writing. So it's been amazing. Just the turnout of all the presses, the amount of authors that have been entered.
Mhm.
The books that we're reading are so incredible. So I have just been over the moon about this. And it's the first year that we're doing this, and there's been a huge turnout. People care about small press published books. I'm an indie press published books, and I'm super excited about it. So, yeah.
The turnout is incredible. The number of books, and I know you shouldn't judge a book by its cover, but they're all stunning to look at as well.
Yeah.
Obviously, I've not had the time to read all of them, but they just visually look amazing. The way that the presses have been presented and the way that you've been looking after everybody, it's been so. You wouldn't know that this was like the first one that you've run. I assume this is the first one you've run because of how you're talking, but it's a very polished and well presented award, and
Thank
I'm
you.
very excited to find out who the winners are. So this round that you've just finished going through, so that's the semi-finalists, and there's 10 for
Mhm.
each category.
Yeah, there's 10 for each category. Yep.
Okay, so that's sci-fi, fantasy, and horror,
Mhm.
right?
Yep.
So okay, so there are 10 now, and then for the finalists, there's 5 in each category.
Yes, for the finalists, it's five in each category, and
Mhm.
then we'll pick a winner from the finalists. So it'll be obviously the ones that the readers choose. So,
Mhm.
and our readers have been incredible. I mean, just they love these books. There's been a bunch of people that are like, I just found a new author that I just love, and I am
Nice.
so glad that you included us in this competition because now I get to shout about these books to my friends, and I'm just like, yes,
The
that's
point.
exactly what we
The system
wanted.
works.
So it's working.
That's
Yeah.
fabulous. For anyone that's curious, or if you've just joined and you don't know what the hell we're talking about, so we're talking about the Small Spec Book Awards. So there is a link tree in the top corner if you wanted to go check out any of the links or learn more about it. So at the moment, the semi-finalists have just been announced. You can go on the SSBA social media and have a look at that, and see who is a semi-finalist. And congratulations to everyone that's gone through so far and everyone that has entered.
Yeah.
At least one person has read your book through this, and that is always a bonus. And that's something that I've seen time and time again, that people are largely just grateful for people to just give their work a chance. So not only has their work been given a chance, it's been given a platform, which is amazing. And I'm all about that. I love that. Hi, Millie.
Hey, Millie.
Speak of the devil. Got the co-founder in the chat. That's amazing. I'm assuming that this is Millie, the co-founder, and not some
Yeah.
random other Millie that
Yeah.
also supports the SSBA, because that's going to sound
Yeah.
stupid otherwise.
Yeah, and you should check out all of Millie's books because I'm pretty sure they're all small press published books, and she's got more coming out soon. So go check out her books.
Incredible. We love it when people are supportive of one another. That's my favorite thing. So during the process of actually setting up the awards and running it and going through all the different phases of this whole thing, what's been your favorite part about it?
Oh, my favorite part has been the reception, hands down. I mean, just everyone just being so excited about it. And there's been publishers that reach out to us and thanked us personally, and some of the authors have just been so excited about being nominated or moving on to the next round. And
Mhm.
congratulations to the semifinalists. I didn't say that yet, but Congrats. I mean, it's incredible. There's so many people who voted on these books, and you should, all of you nominated, those who have just made the semifinalists, you should all be proud of your work. But yeah, just the reception. I have been so happy by just how excited everyone is. And yeah, there's nothing better than that.
I love that. It's such a nice feeling when you see that you've positively impacted people, and it makes all of the like stress and the tears and I'm not sure if you've cried much, but I cry quite a lot. And just like the thinking about things at night and thinking, oh, I've got to do XYZ, or I've really got to make this thing work, because you really want to represent these people and their work.
Absolutely.
And the publishers and their businesses so well. It makes every moment of that effort worth it.
Yes.
And through this, I've been connected to a handful of publishers, small presses as well. And I've created some features for some of just anyone that's contacted me from the entries as well. Yeah, it's been really nice. I've met some really, really nice people through it, and I'm interviewing some in this season of books. So it's just, the whole thing's been really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The features look great, by the way. And so you've interviewed some of them on the website. I mean, just incredible stuff. So thank you for doing that.
Teamwork makes the dream work. If
Absolutely.
You can get more hands on deck trying to help, then that's that.
Yeah.
Good thing. Yeah. So is there anything other than, again, I don't know if people are joining or if everybody's here from the beginning, but could you just repeat again how people can help, if there's anything that they can do to make this thing as good as it can be?
Yeah, so our mission is to uplift all of these small press and indie press speculative authors, right, who are publishing these speculative books through these small presses and stuff. So that's our mission. But as far as ways you can help, you can always share our stuff. That's like super helpful. Follow us and figure out which books you want to read. Follow us everywhere. Safi's already got the link up. But as far as like volunteering, you can volunteer as a reader, which I will open the applications again in December after we announce the winners for this year's awards.
Okay, so that'll be for next year, is that you're accepting readers for? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Cool. Influencers can sign up at any point. That will remain open indefinitely. So if you want to come and last minute and be like, I'm going to offer 5 interviews or whatever, let's do it. So contact me. I'm ready. And then the nominations will open January 1st. So for
amazing. So you're really not going to stop, is what you're saying. No. Tiny break for the holidays and then back into it again.
Yep.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So why have you already decided that there's definitely going to be another one? I mean, it's obvious to me, but I just want to know from your perspective.
Yeah, just because of the reception. I mean, like, there's so many people who are so excited about it and who were eager to sign up, as volunteers. And they were just like, yes, we want to tell people, shout to the world that these small and indie press books need more attention, because these small and indie presses are shouting as loud as they can. They do an awesome job marketing. But they are competing against the giants, right? They're competing against Penguin Random House and Hachette, and like, don't even get me started. Like, that is so difficult. It's hard to get your books into bookstores. Any indie author knows this, but it's hard for the small presses and indie presses too. So a lot of times bookstores won't take books unless they're through a particular distributor. And if your book isn't through the distributor, then they won't take it. And sometimes, like with Books A Million, if your book is print on demand, they won't take it either, which eliminates pretty much every indie author. So yeah. So helping us shout about these books and getting more people excited about them. Yeah, I mean, that's our whole goal. That's our whole mission, is to spotlight these authors and their books because they're doing amazing work and it's getting buried, and that's not okay. Like, that's an injustice.
I agree wholeheartedly that it's not cool.
Yeah.
So if for those who want to be nominated, so it is the presses and the publishers that have to nominate on their behalf, right?
Yes, the publishers have to nominate their authors. Yeah.
Okay. So can they, you might not have decided this yet, and I'm sorry if I'm like throwing 20 questions at you, but are books that were entered this time, can they be entered again the next time, or do they have to be new entries?
So for the 2025 awards, it's books that were published in 2024.
Gotcha. Okay.
So for 2026, we're looking at 2025 published books.
Okay. So fairly new releases.
Yes, fairly new releases.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Amazing. Is there anything else that you'd like our lovely watchers, listeners, creepers, I don't know what to call you guys. Is there anything else about the awards that you'd like to share with them?
I would love it if people would go and look and just browse and look around at the books and check out the publishers and see what they're putting out there. I have links to all the books on our webpage that you can just click and go directly to where the book is sold at the press. It's a direct link to the press.
Oh, amazing.
So I think there's a few exceptions, but I pretty much tried to get the direct link to the press. That way, the author and the press make more money if you buy direct.
Buy direct when you can. I know we all fall to the shackles of Amazon because it's a necessary evil and it's this fantastic tool that people can access easily, and there are minimal overheads, if any. But if you can go direct, then I'd so recommend doing that, especially with like print quality and things like that. Sometimes it makes the world of difference.
Yeah, anywhere you buy books is going to be helpful to these authors and to these presses, but again, buying direct is going to give them a bigger cut. So and that's huge for small and indie press authors who might not sell nearly as much as some of the big publishers. So it's a big deal. You're helping them a lot.
Yeah, I think sometimes it just takes acknowledging people talking about the thing, because you can very easily scroll past stuff when you're on social media, but when you actually have a conversation about something or do something that's just slightly off-piste, that's when people can actually pay attention. So doing something like the SSBA, you're putting it in a different format, an unfamiliar format that people can then pay attention to, because they might look at it and think that's something different, and then they actually pay attention. So it's a huge thing. Grant said that it's a similar model for comics, having to go through the distributor. I've always been curious about comic book production and stuff, because comic books used to be printed in a completely different way, and I would love to see how they're made.
Yeah, and I don't know if any of you are familiar with literary magazines and literary journals. I've been in that world for a long time, but they're the same. Like with the distributors, like they're not in there unless they're with a distributor. I helped get one of the journals in to a distributor. It was like, I mean, the person who ran the literary journal, she had been trying for years. It's really tough. So if you can, if you can't find it in a bookstore, look online. Go directly to their websites. Because they might be just barred from the bookstores. They might not be able to get in. So
that's true. Maybe they did something naughty. I kid. Do I? I don't know. But I think also the method of like requesting books at a bookstore, I think that also helps get people's foot in the door.
Yes.
So if there is a bookstore that you frequent, then that's something you can do to help. Something that I did, I don't know if this is weird or not, but I'm going to say it anyway. I started when I go into, I have to think of the American one, Best Buy, and I see a Kindle. I will go and find an indie book that I remember, and I will open it up on the screen and download it on the display model Kindle, so that people are like, this must be important because it's on the display model. It's just a little sneaky thing that I do to get it in front of people.
I love it. Nice. That's
so
awesome.
go down to your local Best Buy and put your favorite indie book, and try and avoid anything 18 plus for now, because we don't want to get caught out. Because kids look at those. But yeah, that's another little sneaky thing that people could do.
I love it. I'm gonna totally do that.
And as soon as the Floating Castle is out there, if it's available on Amazon, I don't know if it will be, then I will be doing that with your book, I'm sure.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Did you like that segue into talking about your book?
I did. Yeah.
So let's get into the Floating Castle, because I've been wanting to talk about this with you. I've not finished it, I'm going to be honest. It's a larger book than I'm used to reading.
Yeah.
We're going to leave it at that. I love it. It's so good. Yet again, indie fantasy is coming through. It's coming through for me in a way that I can't get from the standard, I keep thinking of British bookstores, Barnes and Noble. Anyway, I'm going to stop talking and ask you to tell our lovely watchers and listeners about your upcoming release.
Yeah, so it follows 3 women, a princess, a knight. She's called a dame in the book, but she's a knight, and then a witch, and then it also follows our antagonist, the evil prince, if you will, who is straight up evil. There's no anti-hero here. He's straight up evil. And basically there's an arranged marriage, right? And with the princess and the prince, and the princess has to come to this new country where she doesn't speak the language. She's still learning the language. She's fluent, but she's not sure about certain words and certain phrases. And then the witch and then the dame are kind of there in that country with the evil prince. So yeah, so like if you can imagine a world, this is my pitch line, where humans control the supply of magic, right? And dragons are both feared and sentient. Okay. These 3 women combine forces in this world, to oppose this evil prince and escape his floating castle. Okay. The floating castle literally floats.
That was amazing. By the way. I was like, must just be the title. Nope.
Yeah, and I wanted to do something different because we all know the floating castle in the sky, right? But I wanted to do something unexpected. So that's why you have the geysers and the magic and the engineering and that's obviously a disaster waiting to happen. So yeah, it gets a little dicey there at the end. So
it's a bit dicey most of the way through.
Yeah.
In a good way. I'm just gonna highlight this. From what I've read so far, correct.
Thanks, Millie.
It is amazing. Something that I'm just gonna quickly. Hello, everybody that's joined. Hello. This is, I said this to you before, I'm saying it again, so much darker than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
The cover is gorgeous. And I was like, okay,
thank you.
Stunning. I'm going to start reading this book. Started reading it and I was like, oh, the imagery is gorgeous as well. I'm going to keep using the word gorgeous because it's apt. And so I'm reading it and I'm like, this is really, really nice. Okay, this is lovely. Setting up the scene. Dragons, awesome. Okay. Oh my god, what the fuck? You're so nice. I did not think that would come out with you. Some of the scenes are really graphic, but in a good way, and they're tastefully done, and they're for a reason. It's not like, I love a slasher, don't get me wrong. It's not like that though. It is very dark in some places.
Yeah, I definitely marketed it as dark epic fantasy,
Mhm.
emphasis on the dark.
Mhm.
So I love my parents because they read this and they were so kind to me on this, and they were like, my mom, I'm pretty sure I gave her nightmares with some of these
Aw,
scenes, but she still read it because she's awesome. But
legend.
yeah, it's,
Cool.
there's a reason I wanted to release it November 1st.
Mhm.
It's because like when everybody has gotten their fill of like horror books after
Mhm.
October and they're like, man, I kind of have a horror hangover. Like I need something dark still though. I'm like,
There
I
you
got
go.
you. You
That is
can
a
read The
smart
Floating
way.
Castle.
No, it's honestly it's so good, and I cannot wait to finish it. Not because I want it to be over, just because I want to know what happens. We have got some questions in the chat that I'm going to pop.
Yeah.
If that's okay with you.
Yeah.
So, are the 3 women in your book based on real life women that you know?
Absolutely. No, they are like mashups of real women that I know.
Okay.
Okay, so to give you some context,
Mhm.
I have some incredible women in my family,
Ooh.
incredible, and incredible friends, like
Mhm.
who are women. I mean, just like I can't even tell you some of the things that they've done. It's just it would blow your mind. But my grandma alone, I mean, is a character. She is so fascinating. I could write a whole book on her. But
Oh.
yeah, my aunts, I mean, they're always getting in trouble, and I love it so much. Like I aspire to be them when I get older. But
Oh.
yeah, definitely real life women inspired these characters. But they're definitely a mashup.
Mhm.
And there's some original parts to them too, obviously.
Mhm.
Um I think Emmeline is probably the one that I relate to the most,
Mhm.
just because Emmeline's kind of an underdog, and she's always struggling and she makes a lot of mistakes,
Mhm.
and she like doesn't always know how to act with the people she's around.
Yeah.
Um, so I kind of relate to her the most. She's also inspired a little bit by our foster children.
Oh.
Um, because we were foster parents for a while, and
Mhm.
um, our foster children were amazing.
Mhm.
And there's nothing that's like direct
Mhm.
translation, but um, there's definitely hints of them in that
Like
character.
little characteristics.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
That's really nice. Oh.
yeah. So, but yeah, the women are definitely inspired by a lot of women in my family, a lot of my friends. Yep, definitely.
That's
Hmm.
very cool. It's very cool. I love it when people are able to insert the people that they love into some of their characters because it's like a little homage to them in a way, um, even if they're killed off or whatever.
Yeah,
So it has dragons. What about cats?
it has cats.
Cats have an interesting reputation in this world in the floating castle. I don't know if you want to divulge that or if you want to leave that a secret. I'll leave that up to you. But there are cats.
There are cats, and actually, there is a cat that's very important to the story.
Mhm.
But I will leave the rest up to you guys as readers to find out.
Smart. But they definitely exist.
Oh yeah, and are important.
Another very lovely compliment from Millie. Not saying it just because Ellen is my friend. I'm French. We're terrible at pretending we like things. There you go. If that's not a Goodreads review, I don't know what is.
Oh, Billy, you're amazing. Thank you.
Grant, again, more importantly, are there wolves?
Yes, but it's kind of indirect.
Mhm.
And it's not so much wolves as well.
Yeah, I don't want to say because that will ruin something.
Spoiler.
I think we could say yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. See if there are any other questions. Did you like my little song? I forgot for a second that we were live and I thought I'll do a bit of theme music for my thought process, which I do all the time. Do you ever do that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Actually, I've been singing without stopping repetitively the
Mhm.
Soda Pop song from K-pop Demon Hunters. I don't know if you are
I haven't
familiar
seen
with
it yet
K-pop.
because I'm scared I'm gonna like it.
Uh, yeah. Yeah, I was kind of like, what is Netflix like trying to do here
Mhm.
recommending this? And then I watched it and I was like, obsessed. Obsessed with that movie. And then my son got obsessed. See how that worked? Started with
Mm.
me. I'm the problem. Anyway, um, generational cycles and all that. But anyway, he loves Soda Pop, the song Soda
Mm.
Pop. And oh my gosh, I cannot not hear it in my head. So it's on all the time. So I'm humming it all the time.
That's okay. There are worse. I'm not saying
Definitely.
this is a bad one, but I've been humming Ring of Fire all day. Don't know why. Don't know where it came from. It just kind of appears sometimes.
Uh,
That intimate, like mixed with a few like meme songs, and I just think sometimes I wish that I could switch that off, because sometimes when I read, I don't know if you ever get this. I've said this on Strangers in Fiction. If I'm reading a book and then a word is like a lyric, or like a couple of words are a lyric to a song, I then cannot get that song out of my head, and it's
mhm.
louder than my internal reading voice. So I
Yeah.
just have to give up because I can't, or I have to listen to something else to get out of my head.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's awful.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. You don't have to feel sorry for me. I feel sorry for me, but that's a whole thing. Any chance of a contest for published books at some point? So I don't know if you came in late, Mike. Um, it's Mike, isn't it? I know you appeared. Hang on, let me just double check. Yes, it's Mike Nunnally. Bloody hell. Sorry about that. Yes, there is the SSBA, which we talked about right at the beginning, so you might have missed that. So these are books that are published through small presses. So I will put the link tree up just briefly in case you wanted to check it out. And the entries for next year are January 1st, did you say?
Yes, for
Okay,
nominations. Yeah,
sweet. But they have to be nominated by the publisher themselves.
by the publisher.
So yeah, I'll just leave that up for a minute just in case you need to get hold of that.
All our rules are on our webpage, by the way, just in case anyone wants to read the rules and understand everything. We tried to be thorough, so there's a lot to read, but it's,
Mhm.
we tried to think of everything, every question someone might have.
And it's very clear as well. But
Yeah.
yeah, go check out the website if you can.
Mhm.
Will there be a sequel to the book?
Why, yes, there will be. Actually, there will be more than one. So it's going to be longer than a trilogy, actually, Michelle.
Mm.
It's going to be several. I have 5 books outlined. Um, so we'll see. I'm thinking about novellas.
Okay.
Um, because this is something that I have been discussing with my most dedicated book coach reader, Leah. She has been reading everything that I send her when it comes to these books, and
Mhm.
she's been so helpful and so amazing.
Aw.
But we've been thinking about, because in the second book
Mhm.
there's things happening over here and there's
Mhm.
things happening over here. I can't say it because of spoilers.
Yep, that's fine.
But this thing's happening over here. I can't decide if I want them to be like novellas, one
Mm.
novella
Okay.
separate from the next novel or not. So we're still trying to figure that out. So maybe, but there will be other things, which if you're cool with, I will announce.
Oh hell yeah! Announce away. Give me
Okay.
those announcements.
So specifically for um booked
Mhm.
people, anybody that follows my blog, right?
Mhm.
After watching this, um, you will be able to see a new short story that deals directly with the book.
Oh.
Um, and that will be coming out probably a month before the book is released. Um, go ahead.
That's exciting. I was just getting excited.
Thanks. Yeah. Yeah. So follow my blog, because you have to follow my blog to be able to see it. But it deals with actually a side character that's very important to the novel. And it gives more backstory for her. Yeah. So
That's very exciting.
mhm.
Is it the newsletter link or is it the website link?
It's the website link.
Okay.
So you can just follow. It's basically my WordPress. You can just follow.
I put it in the chat.
Yeah, yeah, and you can get emails, or you can get you can just follow the blog. So whatever you prefer.
That's very exciting. So anyone that signs up to the blog will get access to this super awesome short story in advance of the release of The Floating Castle. That is amazing. Oh my gosh.
Pays to watch booked, people.
It really does. Free stories. What more can you ask for? I know that you're still looking for ARC readers. Is that right?
Yeah. So there's still time to sign up for ARCs. I think I'm going to cut that off on October 15th. So
Okay.
as long as you sign up before then. But yeah, I'm just looking for people to leave reviews, Goodreads, Amazon. I am going to try and focus a lot on like bookshop.org and independent bookstores. So I'm actually talking to an independent bookstore right now about the Floating Castle. So stay tuned because there might be more announcements coming up, but that's kind of, I haven't made that concrete yet. So but you know who will be housing it? Two independent bookstores. So that's actually Amethyst and Ink. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I have the links, so you let them know, and then I'll link them up.
Okay, so Amethyst and Ink Books, and they are going to house the Floating Castle.
Amazing.
And then the Cozy Book Nook in Dayton, Ohio. And by the way, if you're in the Dayton area, I'm going to have a launch reading there at the Cozy Book Nook. Yeah.
That's so cool.
Yeah. So I'm really excited about it. And it's going to be at their new location. So it's going to be pretty neat. But yeah, you should definitely, and Space Collisions is actually at those two bookstores right now.
Amazing.
So you can buy that there. And if you sign up for my newsletter, by the way, another freebie, because booked is awesome. If you sign up for my newsletter, the first 5 people who sign up for my newsletter can get a free audiobook of Space Collisions.
I mean, run, don't walk, or walk. I don't know. I'm not being ableist. You get there how you need to get there to get your free audiobook. That's so cool.
Yeah. And don't worry, anyone who's already signed up for my newsletter, thank you for being loyal. You'll get the code too. Don't worry about it. But yeah, the first 5 who sign up from here, free audiobook.
Sweet. Amazing. Well, thank you so much for doing that. That's really cool. When can people buy it?
November 1st.
Amazing.
Yeah.
November 1st.
That'll be release day.
Are you going to have any pre-order options for people?
So stay tuned.
Okay.
Because maybe.
Okay. Not definite?
Not definite.
Okay.
But maybe. That's the whole talking to bookstores thing.
Yeah, because I suppose it depends what their whole thing is.
Okay.
Yep. Cool. Yep. So this is a question that I know I'm sure some indie authors, self-published authors, or people that are querying or whatever might have. In terms of getting in contact with indie bookstores or bookstores in general, obviously you're going to have different connections to everybody else. What would you recommend that people do to get to the point where they can actually ask a human that runs a bookstore if they can have the book in there?
Yeah. So I have found that it's the indie bookstores that are open to that in the first place. Okay. A lot of the chains are either an automatic no or they are hesitant.
Okay.
So Barnes and Noble, Books a Million is going to be a lot harder. Barnes and Noble, I think, is a little bit more open to that idea than Books a Million, but I think it has to be from like an angle. So like local author, or like,
Mm-hmm.
there's a theme or something and you fit
Yeah.
the theme. So pitch it, um
Mm-hmm.
and don't, see if you can find like a manager or something, because the managers usually know what they can and can't do. um the salespeople, they're usually really excited for you and they usually want to help, but they don't always know and they don't always have the authority. So talking to a manager is kind of a better strategy. But
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion, I think the best thing that you can do is go support that bookstore in
Mm-hmm.
some way, shape, or form. I know we can't all support every bookstore with our dollars, right? But if you can buy books there, especially your fellow indie authors, buy those books, and small press and indie publish, please.
Mm-hmm.
Buy those books, and then just kind of talk to the bookstore owners. A lot of the bookstore owners are very kind individuals, who are open to the idea of housing indie and self-published and small press and all the things that aren't through distributors, especially if you're local.
Mm-hmm.
Local's a big plus. And then, bookstores who are just opening, um, they're building their stock, so they need more people. And you can pitch the fact that a lot more people are reading indie published books now than they used to be. It's gaining in the market, and so you know it's it's not such a there was such a stigma attached to it before, and now it's there's so much quality work out there, that people have discovered. And so it doesn't have the same, stigma attached to it now, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah. If you're local, pitch the local angle. Talk to the bookstore owners, know what they like. For example, the Cozy Book Nook, they that's who they sell, is indie authors. I mean, like, that's their, you know,
The bread
their
and butter. Yeah.
yeah. And then Amethyst and Ink, they put out an ad basically
Mm-hmm.
saying like, we need, indie authors, because we're just opening. So
Mm-hmm.
sign up. I was like, yeah.
I think I will.
Yeah. A lot of places you do have to pitch. So have your materials ready, have your business card ready,
Mm-hmm.
and be kind. And, just like, if they say no, don't make a big deal about it. Just be like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, maybe they'll change their mind.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, because I think if you responded negatively, then that's the option gone out of the window. But if you're like, okay, I understand, but if they then expand or they decide to stock something similar to the book that you've got, having that good relationship with them, even if it's parting ways,
yeah.
will make you stand out in their mind. And yeah, I definitely think like check to see what they actually sell, because there are like independent bookstores near me where they just sell children's books. So going and
Yeah.
pitching your erotica probably isn't going to get picked up by that,
No.
which is fine. It's just not for them.
Right.
Okay. So yeah, I think definitely having materials there. I don't know if it's worth people actually taking like an actual physical copy of their book to say this is what it would look like on your shelf, or if it's like a sell sheet or something, that might be helpful to take, just so that they can have a look into it. I suppose there's also no harm in emailing them, especially if you're trying to pitch something out of town, just to say like, how do I get my book into your store? Because
Yeah.
they might say, well, you won't, and so you can stop worrying about that one. But I imagine it's probably going to be a similar ego crush as being in a query trench, where you'll probably get a lot of rejections, because not everybody is going to be accepting if you just, email everybody or contact everybody. But if you're like, okay, I'm going to pick these specific ones because I know that my book will work for them, then you'll probably have a much higher success rate.
Yeah, I been in the query trenches. It's awful. A lot of nice people there. A lot of nice people there, but
Yeah.
the process itself is terrible. But yeah, I've had a much warmer reception from independent bookstores and
Well,
their
that's good.
I mean, Space Collisions. I don't know if you can see it up there next to my gnomes that my dad made me. But yeah, Space Collisions is this is the 4th bookstore I've got it in. So Cozy Book Nook is the 3rd, and Amethyst and Ink is the 4th. So it pays to talk to people and see what they're stocking and see if they're open to your book. I mean, the worst they can say is no, and no harm. Like you just do your thing and just keep hustling.
It is just one big hustle, isn't it?
It really is. Yeah. And I get it. It's exhausting, and especially if you're not social. If you're like introverted, it's hard. It's hard, but yeah, your book, you've worked so hard on it. Like, it's amazing. You need people to read it. So you have to connect with people so that they can figure out that this book is amazing and that they can read it. So yeah, that's the hard lesson I learned through all of this.
It seems
like, I'm just gonna write a cabin. Talk to no one. That's not how it works.
Yeah, there's this like romanticized thought before you actually get involved with what you have to do to get people to notice your book, where you can be this tortured artist that's hunched over an antique desk writing with a quill, and everyone's going to think you're a genius, and then you finish it and you're like, oh, I've got to tell people it exists now, because they're not going to automatically know.
Yeah, when I was a kid, it was like, and I was spending days in the library. I had parents that always encouraged me to read and always encouraged me to write. I'm so lucky. I am so blessed by my family. They're amazing and so supportive. And so are my friends. But yeah, so days in the library, right? And I would think, wow, these books are so amazing, and maybe one day I'll be a writer, and I'll win all these awards and blah blah blah, like the National Book Award and the Pulitzer Prize. And then you like figure out what that takes, and you're like, no, there's no way. Like, not in 15 lifetimes am I ever going to be able to do that. But you find other worthwhile things. And for me, at the end of the day, the most important thing to me is that I can continue to practice this art that I love. And stories are so important to me. They're so important to me that I can't imagine doing anything else. So yeah.
And nor should you, because you clearly have a talent for it.
Thanks.
You're welcome. As I've said 1,000 times before, I don't read fantasy, but now apparently I do. Apparently I read indie fantasy, and that's all I will read. That's all I'm going to entertain, because that's the only thing that's not let me down yet. I've been very lucky with the fantasy books that I've read in the indie scene. And yeah, I urge everybody that is watching, listening, creeping, whatever, to read The Floating Castle. If you have an opportunity to sign up for the ARC copies, do it. Look at that, prepared. I wasn't prepared with the cover. I put it in the intro. I urge you to go read it because it's amazing. And if you have to wait till November 1st, I don't know what's going on. If you have to wait till November 1st, it'll be available then. Yeah. Has anybody got any questions at all? I better get used to it. I assume get used to reading indie fantasy. Looking at all the other guests that I have scheduled, I'm going to be reading a lot of fantasy anyway, so thankfully I'm liking it.
Yeah. That's cool.
Often have a butt full of wine, so it's probably accurate. Can you tell us about your writing process?
My book coach.
Is that the Leah?
That's the Leah.
Oh my
She's
goodness.
she's got this incredible book of poetry, by the way, that you should read through Ghost City Press. Sorry, I can't help it. I have so many amazing writer friends.
It's in
Like,
your
I
blood.
just always have to pitch their books to everybody. So sorry about that. But
Do it.
go read it. Anyway, yeah, the writing process. It is chaotic.
Mhm.
It is all over the place. There is no process. There is there is like get up and I just do my best every day.
Mhm.
And I just try to focus, you know. There's a lot of there's a lot of research involved with this. I'm always researching weird like medical stuff in medieval times. Just weird stuff. Like I was trying to figure out like recently how did medieval people like treat burns?
Mm.
And yeah, there's a whole medievalist.net, by the way, is an awesome website. They have all these like scholarly articles on medieval history. So if you're writing like medieval fantasy or just
Mhm.
medieval history or whatever, go
Mhm.
check out that website because it's awesome.
Cool.
But yeah, my writing process is chaotic. There is no, I mean, it's different for every piece too. Like,
Mhm.
for example, like I wrote this short story for Friction forever ago.
Mhm.
Um, and it's in space collisions. And that was like, I had to get that story out as fast as I could. I just couldn't stop typing. I was just like, it was pouring out at me.
Wow.
Um, and then you have other pieces that it's like, oh, there's a writing prompt. Let's try it. You know,
Hmm.
you create something. Might suck, might be great. Who knows? Um, but I just love trying new things. I love ideas. Um, actually, there was a piece that I submitted to a contest.
Oh.
That I won't say what contest. Anyway, but yeah, I actually Leah read it and
Oh.
um, was giving me advice and stuff,
Mhm.
and she proposed these different alternative ways to write the piece. And I was like, wouldn't it be cool to just create a collection of like different ways this could go? And anyway, so I just it went, yeah. It kind of got a little out of hand from there. I was like, okay, wait. I just need to revise this piece first, submit it to the contest, and then I can think about all these amazing ideas. So yeah, I mean it's very chaotic. I try to write as much as I can when I can. I write on my phone, I
Mhm.
write in notebooks, I write on my computer. Sometimes I write on napkins. Like it's everywhere. And then I get in trouble because there's stuff like on my phone that I forget it's on my phone. I'm like, where did I put that note for that one thing? Oh, I have photographs too. Like, I have this. So my husband has. I said I have it, but it's actually my husband's. This big, giant whiteboard where
Okay.
I just plotted out a bunch of stuff on my novel, and then I just took photos of it
Oh, that's a
and
good
saved
idea.
it to my computer. So,
There you
I
go.
mean, it's. I'm not sure there's a process really. It's just all
That's
over the place.
okay. But sometimes there doesn't have to be. Even Grant agrees. Same here. He often writes scenes out of sequence.
I like that. Yeah.
We've also got some, I assume, family members.
Yeah.
God given talent.
Thanks, mom.
Oh, hello, mom. Nice to meet you. Um, oh,
Oh yeah. So this is my best friend from childhood.
hello, best friend.
Yeah. Yeah, she's amazing. She went through all of my terrible stories when I was young. Like read them all, listened to them all. This all started when I was on the school bus. Um, going to school and I couldn't shut up and I wanted to talk about stories and I also wanted to be a detective back then. I don't know why, but I would be a terrible detective. I'm
That's cool.
so afraid of like everything. I no, no. I mean, I would run from the perpetrators. I would not run to them. So anyway, but yeah, I would tell stories on the bus and
Oh,
my to my best friend and like when we were in elementary school and we would pass time doing that and it was It was fun for me. I hope it was not torture for her, but it was really fun for me.
That's
I mean, she's still
nice.
my best friend, so I guess
They
we
can't have
don't
been that
really
bad if she
too
stuck
terrible.
around. So I think you've already sort of answered this. But do you start with an outline and stick to it, or does it like go off on a tangent?
So yeah, I said I outlined the books, right?
Mhm.
So usually what I'll do is I'll start with an outline for a novel,
Mhm.
and I'll totally change it. It'll just completely be revised.
Mhm.
And that'll be based off of feedback from my writer friends from my writer groups,
Mhm.
and from Leah. Sometimes, with my, I'm trying to think, beta readers, all my beta readers that helped were just so helpful, by the way. But yeah, they'll derail me sometimes, which is great. I love it when they do that. I'm like, oh yes, you're totally right. Like that can't be like that. It has to be like this, and I just love that so much. I'll tell you what, everybody that gives me feedback, thank you so much. You've
Aw.
helped me so much. But yeah, the outline is a starting point sometimes depending on
A
what we're
diving
working on,
board.
and then it gets thrown out sometimes, or changed, or sometimes it actually works. Like scenes will stay the same,
Mhm.
but not often.
And that's okay. Um, and apparently you don't have any terrible stories.
That's my sister. Thanks,
Hello,
Tiffany.
sister.
I told you I had a supportive family. They're
You
awesome.
do. They're all in the chat. Amazing. Um, so do you this might be a sore question, sore subject. Do you have any unfinished stories that
Oh,
you'll never go back to?
oh,
Ones that haunt you?
just drive the knife in. So, I mean, just drive
Because
it
we've all got them.
in. Absolutely. I mean, yes. There's a bunch of failed flash fictions. Well, I say failed, but they're
They're not
just
failed.
hanging out,
Mhm.
never probably going to be seen by any human eyes. Um, but bunch of failed flash fiction stuff,
Mhm.
bunch of novels that I wrote, and I realized I wasn't very good at writing it,
Mhm.
and put in a drawer. I want to say I have like 7 of those
Wow.
that I put in a drawer, where I just like, this isn't it. The Floating Castle was the first novel that felt like it was it,
Hmm.
to me.
Why?
I think because I grew a lot as a writer.
Mm. Okay.
Um, I learned a lot from other writers.
Mhm.
I learned a lot from the fiction that I read, and I learned what I like and what I care about. And I also learned that the stuff that scares me, I need to be writing about it. You know that cliche
Mm.
line, like write the stuff that scares you?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me. That's why a lot of my stuff is dark, because I am a fraidy cat. Like, I love The Haunting of Hill House, but it scares me to death. Like, every time I watch it, every time I read it, I'm terrified. Um, I can't even handle it. Uh, yeah, horror movies, horror books, love them, love them.
Mhm.
Terrified, can't sleep for months. Just it's awful. Also wonderful at the same time. How does that even work? I don't know, but it's
Sometimes
true.
you just need to feel something. Do you think that you enjoy writing the things that scare you because they give you such a visceral reaction that you have like more surface level and accessible emotions to describe?
Uh, maybe I guess I think I write the stuff that scares me because I need to get it out in some way. It's not really
Mm.
therapy. It's more like I have this
Cleansing.
dark thing in my head.
Hmm.
And wouldn't it be more beautiful as a story? You
Hmm.
know? Wouldn't it be better to take that and make it into something that's productive
Mm.
and not negative?
Fascinating.
So, for example, to give you an
Hmm.
example, the story that I wrote for the contest that we shall not name. Um, it's very dark, and it deals with a fear that I had while I was
Oh.
pregnant
Mhm.
with my son, and it felt so good to write that story and get those fears out. Um, because I had like no way of expressing those really deep, dark, scary things
Mhm.
while I was pregnant because I didn't want to scare anybody else. You know, like
Yeah.
I didn't want to scare anybody else because, people can take it the wrong way. Like, why are you thinking about all this scary, terrible stuff? And it was just like, well, I don't know. I have anxiety. I'm sorry. Like, it just pops into my head. I can't help it. But stories, creating a story out of it makes it something a lot less evil, a lot less
Mm.
awful, you know? And there's a catharsis there. There's a feeling of relief.
Mhm.
So,
Do you
yeah.
feel that it takes the power away from the thing that scares you? I feel like, well, I've written about you now, so you can't touch me.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Very cool. I know that you said that it's not exactly like therapy, but it is for a lot of people.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
even if you write it out and then nobody ever sees it, like it doesn't have to be productive in the sense of like you don't have to make money out of it or whatever. Sometimes it's just the act of like getting it out there is incredibly helpful. Like I've had authors that tell me that they do a lot of journaling because that's something that they have to channel because they don't necessarily want to write about it and create these whole worlds and spend their whole time mentally in that place.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, it's incredibly helpful to a lot of people. So I'm glad that it's something that you have turned into something productive,
Yeah.
because life can be really challenging. And if you can channel it into this piece of art, then that's amazing. Very cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I also have like two sides to my personality, right? I have like the metal side and then I have like the K-pop demon hunter side, right? Like bubbly. I don't know. I can't help it. I gotta have both.
That's
Both best of both worlds.
it. Oh, apparently Tiffany's your inspiration for scaring you when you were younger. The emoji doesn't fix it, Tiffany.
Yeah, she would scare me all the time. All the time. Yeah.
Really?
Jump scare. That's probably why I'm so afraid of horror movies with all the jump scare scenes, like, because my sister traumatized me when I was a child. It's immortalized in video now, Tiffany.
Yeah, but to be fair, she called herself out on that one.
She did, and my dad did get her back at one point. He jumped out and scared her, and she cried. She bawled. Sorry, Tiffany, I'm telling this whole story, but
It was
she
all coming
bawled.
out now. The
Yeah,
family
it's all
drama.
coming out now. All the family drama. My dad felt so bad, by the way. My dad felt
Oh,
bad, like so bad. But yeah, Tiffany stopped scaring me after that.
does she still do it now?
Oh no,
Has she done it
no,
since?
no, no.
Okay.
We were like enemies as kids. Like we always fought. And now we're like the best of friends.
Oh,
That's because
that's
we
nice.
grew up and we matured and we realized that the other person is kind of awesome. So yeah,
Oh, and also like kids can be kind of annoying, and if you're both kids, you're just being annoying at each other. So
yeah,
there
yeah.
is that.
It was just competition and immaturity and yeah. Sorry, Tiffany. You
It's now
started
no
it.
longer about books. This is about beef, really old beef.
I know my mom's cringing right now.
Did you get a talking to before this? Like, right, you guys don't share family secrets.
No, but I'm sure I'll get prepped every time now.
You need a coach beforehand. Nah, I think it's good. I like knowing about people's pasts and their personality and what they grew up with because it translates to storytelling as well. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, has
Yeah.
anyone else got any more questions before we finish for the day? I'm going to give it a couple of seconds. Is there anything that you'd like to share before we go?
Oh yeah, Leo's right. It's relevant. There are sisters in the book. That's true. There's definitely a lot of sibling relationships and a lot of
Mm.
relationships with parents.
Mhm.
I wanted to kind of highlight a lot of the platonic kind of relationships that
Mhm.
aren't always, I mean, a lot of sibling relationships get their spotlight in fantasy,
Mhm.
but there's a lot of it is focused on uh, romance, or
Mhm.
I don't know, kind of like enemies that aren't related, I guess. But like,
Mhm.
as you can tell, my family is really important to me. So
Mhm.
like these relationships and the different ways families can be constructed,
Mhm.
um, that's very important to me because we, like I said, we were foster parents, and we did try to adopt for a
Mhm.
while. And so like families look all different ways, and I don't always see that represented in fantasy.
Mhm.
So I was trying to do some of the ones that I didn't see as often, um, and
That's very
represent those in
cool.
the family. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. I that was a nice touch, I think, because I oh, before I go on to anything, oh, is it a romance plot or subplot?
Um, no romance actually. Actually, so it sets you up like because it's arranged marriage, right?
Mhm.
But there's no romance.
Hence why I'm enjoying it so much.
There's no enemies to lovers. It's
Mhm.
just enemies. And yeah, I romantasy is so awesome.
Mhm.
Love romantasy books. Love romance books. A lot of friends who are authors of such books.
Mhm.
Um, but I wanted fantasy about women who weren't in a romantic relationship. That was so
Mhm.
important to me, because I don't see it very often.
Mhm.
Or, I see a lot of women who are sexualized in fantasy,
Mhm.
or, they're very beautiful or very powerful or whatever. I was like, I want to give you some women that are struggling, like, that don't know what
Yes.
they're doing, that are gonna die if they don't figure stuff out. Like, and they don't have the easy button out. Like
Mhm.
they have to figure it out by trial and error. Maybe they're not the smartest, maybe they're not the strongest.
Mhm.
Um, Emmeline has trouble reading.
Mhm.
That's one of the things that she struggles with throughout the book. She's an incredibly strong fighter, but she has trouble reading anything. And
Mhm.
so she often feels like um, she's at a disadvantage to a lot of other people around her. And even though she's trying really hard to be literate, it's a struggle.
Mhm.
And that was something else I didn't see very often in fantasy, because you the the author shows their hand all the time, right? There's like these giant libraries full of books. The main character is just like obsessed with all the books in the library, and they just roll in them and all that. But
Accurate.
but I wanted someone who couldn't read, like who was struggling to read. I
Mhm.
wanted someone like that in my book.
Mm.
Um, Li Ling is incredibly prejudiced and biased, and
Mhm.
she really struggles with Glendan in general, which is the country that she goes to, and their culture. And also she has this feeling of superiority, right? Because she's a
Mhm.
princess. So
Mhm.
she's not like you're smart, beautiful, like knows what to say type of princess. She's like muddling her way through this to try and secure her position
Mhm.
in the imperial family.
Mhm.
Um, and this new royal family that she's trying to enter into. And she fails spectacularly. So and then you have Valena, who just wants to be this competent witch, and she's denied at every corner.
Mhm.
And so then she has to struggle to gain magic,
Mhm.
and you probably read far enough to know that that doesn't turn
Mhm.
out so well.
Yes.
So yeah, yeah.
You've done a good job at representing a lot of underrepresented elements in fantasy. From what I've read, limited, I will say. Sometimes there are very common themes going through this. And it doesn't feel like it's just for the sake of it. It feels like there's a purpose because either you care about that particular characteristic or that journey for that person, or because you really believe that that's going to benefit the plot of the book, rather than being like, I'm just going to put this random character with this difficulty in or whatever for no reason.
Yeah.
Whereas it's like, it makes total sense for there to be this character that has difficulty with reading because that speaks to the hierarchy within this kingdom. And so, yeah, it's really good. Like, I know I've said that already. It's really good. I've not finished it yet, but I'm going to. And that's big for me with a big book. Not like a novella. So this is like, what the hell? But I did make some notes. I'm going to flip a page now. It might make a horrible sound. Of the elements that I liked, because my memory's terrible and I can't think of things off the top of my head. There's a lot of power struggling going on. I do love that. There's magic. There's a lot of violence, actually.
A lot.
Is graphic and very well done. There are some spooky beings in this, and that freaked me out. And it didn't quite give me nightmares, but it definitely crept in the back of my mind when I was going to the toilet in the night the other day. What the hell's that? There are dragons. There's more than one type of dragon, which I appreciated. Love the strong female characters, and they're not patronizing strong female characters. It's not like girl power. It's like these people have complex personalities and they all tackle things in different ways and all have unique the ways that they deal with things. I said that twice, but in two different ways. I'm just getting excited, but you should read it basically.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's my thing that I think you should do.
I definitely wanted a lot of this to feel intentional because it was intentional for me. There's some stuff that surprised me that I put in there. And then there's some stuff that my writing groups were just like, what if this happened? And I was like, yes, let me run with that. And so, it's so great to have support, so if you're not in a writing group, try to find one. If you have trouble finding one, like there's so many places that I could recommend to you. So just, hit me up if you need a writing group. But yeah, I have like, I think 3 separate writing groups, and then Leah meets with me on her own. And yeah, so it's amazing. And then I have so many people who support me and, who read the betas, and my friends, my writing friend, Meredith, I think she writes under Meredith Allison. I can't remember if she changed that, but Meredith Allison. So she has this incredible historical crime novel like collection that is based in the 20s, and it is this woman becoming a crime boss in the time of Al Capone and all of the big gangster bosses. Yeah, she has a character that comes up as a crime boss, and it is incredible. And then she writes, romantic suspense as well. So, but she was a beta reader for me. I had my other Amanda friend, who writes incredible short stories. She was a beta reader for me. So, I have a ton of support. I'm so grateful. But find your writing friends, find your writing group, and listen to them because they have good ideas. So, yeah, I think some of the most rewarding things was just running with an idea, see where it went.
That's cool. I love that you're able to be a good collaborator, because I'm worried about when it comes to that point with my own writing, because I'm so set in the way that I want to tell it.
Yeah,
being flexible, because some of it's based on things that actually happened to me. I'm so scared to accept critique. I'm going to do it anyway because I don't want it to be this one-dimensional thing. I want people to actually get involved with it. But is that something you've had to develop, or have you always been quite accepting of critique and advice from people?
That's something I had to develop. Yeah. We all have to get past that spot where it hurts, right?
Yeah.
And sometimes it still hurts. But almost everyone that I've interacted with has had good intentions and has meant to help me.
Mm-hmm.
There have been exceptions, but I ignore those people. Anyway, so the people that are trying to help me,
mm-hmm.
I don't think of their feedback anymore as a critique. I think of it as this is an idea that they're presenting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Do I like this idea? Do I want to run with it? Do I
Mm-hmm.
want to try it out? There's absolutely no, no obligation to take that suggestion and implement it.
Mm-hmm.
But I could play with it. I could play with it and see where it goes.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you just know, like, oh, that isn't right for this story.
Yeah.
That's okay. But, they're just trying to help. So
yeah,
no big deal. You can just ignore it. And, thanks anyway, but this isn't going to work for my story. But a lot of times if I take a breath, because a lot of times my initial reaction will be, oh, that doesn't sound right. Like that doesn't work. Like that won't work. If I take a breath and I think about it, I'm like, what if I tried that? What if I looked at this a different way? Oh, I see what they're saying now. I see why that doesn't work. Go back and read the piece, think about it some more. Okay, that's making sense to me, So I would say take some feedback, let it breathe.
yeah.
And then go back to it and be like, okay, what are they trying to say here? And is this helpful to me? And is this something I want to do? Is this something I want to try? You can always try something. And if you try it and it's like not right, you can always put it back the way it was.
It's very true. To make sure you save every draft version.
Yes. Save every draft. Oh, my computer is a chaotic mess. I have so many drafts of so many things. So.
Do you call them like final version?
Yes. 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 Okay, this is the final one, actually. No, this is the final one. Final. Yeah.
Final for real, lol.
Final for real. Every time.
We have a couple more comments here. So, you're winning Trinity over. Trinity, if you missed it, if you go to is the ARC link in your link tree?
Yes, you can still get ARCs. They are still available if you want to read it and leave a review.
And also, it's on your website, right? I'm gonna put
that's correct.
I will put all these links in at the end as well. But this is directly to the website. You can go sign up and read it early because it's not out till November 1st, and the sign-ups will close, and then there'll be this gap where it's not even available to anybody. So don't get stuck in that gap.
Yeah.
Get hold of it now if you can, or wait so that you can actually buy it.
You can't come back from the abyss.
Exactly. Sometimes you just need to set up camp in the abyss and just that this is my life now, and anyway. So Nathan, hello Nathan, hope you're doing well. God, I sounded like a lame radio presenter then. Oh, that's going to be my new thing. Hope you're doing well. Nathan needs a writing group. So if anybody knows of a sci-fi writing group or one that would be accepting of an author who writes sci-fi, please do reach out to Nathan.
Nathan, I'll reach out to you.
Sweet. And that is, I think, what Nathan's Twitter handle is, or that's how you'll be able to find him as well.
Okay.
Cool. I am also excited to read the whole series. A little part of me hopes that you do write novellas because I assume then you'll be able to get them out quicker and I'll be able to get little bits of it rather than having to wait for the whole thing.
Yeah. Well, the second book is called The Pirate Queens, by the way.
Cool. Love it already.
Thanks. So maybe with that one, we'll see. But
okay.
It'd probably be at the same time, though, so I'm not sure it would come out earlier.
It's okay. It's all right. You do what you need to do. I don't want it to be early and then you be disappointed in what it is. Make sure it's right before you send it out.
Fair.
This is very sweet.
Aw.
I'm assuming she's our author girl now. She's all of ours. Now that you've shared this with the world. It is also good to share ideas. You're right, Grant. And I think sometimes it is really easy to get really possessive over the little creature that you've written. But the most successful and well polished writers whose work I've read have had a collaborative writing experience. And that doesn't mean like get somebody else to help you write your book.
Right.
But people kind of do. And by getting that feedback, you'll be looking at this friggin' manuscript again and again for hours and hours, and you will miss stuff. I've said this before on another episode. I read through the first few chapters of Blackout dozens of times, and I still missed a line that said that somebody screamed at the top of their lunch. It happens. Don't assume that it's perfect. Don't assume it's perfect. I still have that version because it makes me laugh. But yeah, so if you are a writer or if you think about writing, don't hide away in the shadows for years and years and years, unless that is the only way that you can function. If you can seek out writing groups, or even just like a writing partner, or just somebody that can give you honest feedback and critique, and just be another pair of eyes, that is incredibly valuable, and it will put you in good stead moving forward. Unless you just write for yourself, in which case just do it. Whatever, just get it out
there. Yeah, definitely. I think I've gotten so many cool ideas just from listening to other people. But the thing is, you have to write it at the end of the day. It's your words, it's the way you craft it, right? So like you might have an idea come from someone to do with your current manuscript that was already your idea in the first place, right? And then if you go with that idea that they pitch, you have to write it. It's your words, it's your imagination. So, even then it's not so much people like changing your story. It's you doing something different, trying something new. So it's good. It's a good thing. It's a good thing as an author, as an artist, to stretch your muscles like that, I think.
Absolutely. This has been lovely. I just want to thank you so much for taking the time to be the first ever live guest on Booked. First episode of season 1. Nope, season 2. Oh, I keep getting it wrong. What I will say is a little shout out to season 1 of Booked. Due to an unfortunate incident with a calendar and a time machine, the last episode of season 1 of Booked will be coming out on Sunday. So please go ahead and just like and subscribe. I hate saying it. I'm going to say it, and I'm going to have to say it every time. Please do it so that you don't miss any episodes of Booked. So this will be coming out every Wednesday at varying times due to different time zones. Keep an eye out. They will be live indefinitely, at least until April next year, every single week, including accidentally Christmas Eve and New Year's Eve. Those are both Wednesdays. It's weird that they're Wednesdays. So yeah, I hope that everybody had a good time. And don't forget, you can sign up for art copies of The Floating Castle, which comes out on November 1st. If you want to be an influencer for the Small Spec Book Awards, the sign-ups are still openly available. If you are an author who has a book that is published through an indie press or a small press, then keep an eye out for January 1st, when submissions will be opening for the second year of the Small Spec Book Awards. I don't know if I mentioned everything, but you're awesome, and I appreciate you. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for being here, for having me here. you being here is kind of a thing, like the thing that's supposed to happen, but me being here, yeah, I appreciate you having me here. You can tell like I'm a mom, because like mom brain's kicking in, and it's like, all right, we're done now. You're tired.
It's also been very long.
No, thank you so much, Afron. I'm such a huge fan of Booked, of Indiosyncrasy. I mean, everything that you're doing and supporting all these indie authors and all these, small and indie press published authors. It's incredible. I'm just so grateful.
It is truly my pleasure. And I actually said the said the word correctly. Sometimes I say pledger. Who am I pledging? I have no idea. Before we go, I'm going to put all of the links for the website, your newsletter, your Goodreads, your Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, the Cozy Book Nook, Amethyst and Ink books, and your Idiosyncrasy feature, along with the release date for the Floating Castle. So if you haven't, I haven't worked out how to do this. Give me a second. What did I do wrong? I just deleted them all. Okay, copy. I know how to use computer.
Thank you all for being here and just engaging with us. It was incredible. I really appreciate it.
No, it's always very it's very heartwarming when people take their time to just hang out or engage with what I'm doing, what you're doing. And even just like 5 minutes of people's time is so valuable to me. And I don't know if this is copied correctly, and I'm sorry if it hasn't. I will send it out again if it hasn't. Yeah, this has been so much fun, and I can't wait to keep doing this every week. And yeah, hopefully I'll see everybody again soon.
Yeah, I'll definitely be tuning in. Thank you.
Better be.
Absolutely. And Strangers of Fiction too.
Thank you so much. But yeah, I'm going to say goodbye, and I'll catch you in the backstage room. That sounded creepier than it is. Goodbye, everybody.
Good night. Thank you.